Well, welcome back to Integrity RV here in Mesa, Arizona. And the semi-arid part of the desert of Phoenix is a lot less arid. And we got rain and water everywhere. And I'm going to try to do an inspection on this 2005 Tiffin Allegro bus. If you look at the skies, even though it's sunny there, it's cloudy everywhere else. So I'm going to try to do this inspection very quickly before I get rained on. Of course, we know 2005, it's about the start of my favorite generations of Tiffin coaches. But before I do that and we get on the roof and do the inspection, I do like to have all the slide out rooms out for the roof inspection. And unfortunately, the 2-bedroom slides I can't get out right now because the house batteries are dead. So I do have 4 new batteries right here to put in. I'll do that really fast. We'll put these slide out rooms out and we'll get on the roof and hopefully beat the weather. Now it's possible I could do the inspection without doing the batteries first. After all, I still have to do the rest of the inspection on this too. And looks like, I think this one just came in. I've been asked to do the inspection, not by Integrity, but by a customer interested in buying it. Integrity's went ahead because I have a good relationship with them. They provided the batteries so I can at least do the inspection. Easier, and this coach just came in anyways, and they would have put batteries in it. And Pablo is a little bit sick today. But while we're here, we might as well take a look at this right here. You did notice you have chassis battery jump start here positive, jump start here negative, because the chassis batteries are located way back there. It's not my favorite setup that Tiffin came up with, having the house batteries in front and the chassis batteries in the back, but they did at least think of future proofing it a little bit so you don't try to get jumper cables way back there. Otherwise, 2 12-volt batteries for the chassis batteries, 4 6-volt batteries here. And I know this is an inspection video, but because it can be quite confusing with 6-volt batteries in series parallel, before you ever do a battery bank like this, just take a picture of it with your phone. That way you know how the cables go back together again and you don't hook them up wrong. Now once we do the batteries here, I'm gonna show you the most important check that I would consider a deal breaker on most of these generation of Tiffin Allegro buses or diesel pushers. Maybe I worded that a little bit too harsh. Not necessarily a deal breaker, but one of the first things I'm ever going to look at. All right, I'll be honest. I'm going to rewire this thing the way that makes sense to me. I don't know why they have this ground way over here as a main ground, crossing over the batteries. It's a lot of extra room, space, so we'll just do a flip-flop on these batteries down here. Alright, put our special battery corrosion preventer on it. Batteries are hooked up and we're turned on. Alright, so we'll go inside now. Now on this generation, we want to make sure this isn't rotten out. That first step on the threshold, and it's not. Turn the battery on. Ceiling light on. Oh, cool. I've done a lot of work in here. Okay. Alright, so we're going to try it with the key off because I don't have a key right now. I'm trying to remember how it was. Man, this is a nice looking coach. Don't want to give it all away. So slide it room out. This one's electric. Hello. Alright. And don't worry, I did put the compartment door down, so I'm not going to destroy the compartment door. Alright, both these are electric. That's pretty odd. Usually it's hydraulic on one side, electric on one side on these Tiffins. But this is that compartment door I was talking about. We want to make sure that the slide wasn't going to hit it, because I did have it open doing the batteries, but I did close it. Alright, so while we're here, might as well look underneath. We want to make sure that the bottom of the slide out rooms aren't rotten. Check out the slide out seals. Now this is just a decal right there. It's just peeling a little bit. There's nothing I would worry about. That's just when they paint it. That keeps them from having to paint it. It's really just cosmetic, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I do have some broken corner pieces there. I think the buyer noticed that those were broken. All right, so there's a little bit of a wear right there. Now this is not a deal breaker at all. I would probably just put a aluminum strip right there anyways, because this Phylon is just rubbing too hard on the molding there, or on the roller there. But again, like I said, this generation from, I'll call it 2005 to 2009, the first thing you ever want to look at on these is going to be underneath the water compartment right here. Into this area used some Darko wrapped chipboard in a water bay, and they all rotted out. So it looks like this has been upgraded to the non-organic decking. But you can see that Darko material over there on a normal storage bay. The wet bays should not have 3/8 chipboard, because even if there isn't a leak, almost every RV at some point, when you hook up the city water hose to something like that, is going to have a drip on it. Drips in there, starts making its way down to that chipboard, and it rots away. And because the freshwater tank sits on this floor right there, it starts to sink down and collapse, and then the gray and black tank are above that. But it looks like the previous owner went ahead and took care of that. It looked like they did a good job too. It looks like a factory job. All right, while we're here, we'll go ahead and take a look at this floor. All the slide out seals here. Looks good. Slide out seals look good. Another little broken corner right there. This is 2005, so this thing's 18 years old, and these corner pieces can break. There is some checking in the sidewalls here. I think the customer might be aware of that. Now, this is another weak point on this era, is the floor of this main slide out room does tend to get rotten. So that's the third thing we always want to check on this era. That one looks good too. Slide out seals look pretty good. I think we might even have survived whatever rain might have happened. So let's go ahead and get on the roof. Well, I like to use the existing ladders there to test them out, so I'll have to find the ladder extension. It's in here. Alright, so now this 2005 is probably not a gel coat fiberglass roof. This is just before they did that. It's probably a Phylon roof, which it is a Phylon roof, and it does have metal caps on the side. So this is not a seamless, it's not a gel coat fiberglass roof. It is a laminated Phylon roof, and I think the most obvious thing right now is that the glue has probably given out on most of the areas here of the roof. Now, I wouldn't say it's nothing to worry about, but this is not seamless, so it is perimeter screwed down all the way around. So right now the loose Phylon is still weatherproof. It's just cosmetically it looks bad. Unlike a Winnebago Phylon roof, the lamination is not structural to the overall roof. Tiffin actually has structure and truss supports within this. And for years, Safari Motorhomes had a FRP roof that is a floating roof. That is to say, they didn't glue down that FRP roof at all. And FRP roofs are very similar to a Phylon roof. So it's not a deal breaker for me, but it is something I do want to let the owner or the potential buyer know about. All right, we'll start back here on the rear cap. I didn't feel it loose. The ladder supported my weight, no problem. Clearance lights are not damaged. There's a little bit of checking in the rear cap, but that's consistent with the rest of the fiberglass on this. Let's see, I can already see a crack right there. I'm going to assume that whoever sealed this didn't know what they were doing. So Tiffin uses self-leveling silicone sealant as a lap sealant on the inside here. It looks like somebody, okay, they did use, no, okay, so they used a lap Dicor, and of course we all know at this point Dicor doesn't stick to silicone. But I'm also a little bit concerned about this gap right there. If I walk the rear cap, it's not loose, but I can see it loose right here, and of course it's cracked right there too. So it's a shame. Somebody did a good job. You can see the old sealant they peeled off, but yeah, we'll have to make a note of that too. And the bad part about having a perimeter border all the way around is that you can see water does puddle right here because it becomes a bathtub. And of course, there's not a real exit path for water at this low level. the roof right there is a way for water to get in. You step right there, make sure it's not rotten. It doesn't feel rotten. It doesn't feel rotten. It doesn't feel rotten, but definitely we need to make a note of this. But of course, that is why I do recommend you do a roof inspection on every RV that you're going to buy or think about buying. It's very important to know the condition of a roof before you buy any RV. Very important. All right, so we have a Dometic Penguin AC right here. I'm just going to take a look underneath. This does have the condensate drain cups on it. Those are a little bit problematic too of this era, so I do want to check the ceiling and make sure it's not rotten anywhere. Sometimes those were leaking. This slide out fabric is gray, which is the original slide out fabric, so that's kind of really impressive. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but nothing I would change out yet. We'll take a look underneath. Not seeing any issues there. Slide out seals are definitely compressed, but they're not torn there. And this is mostly a dust shield anyways. The main seals are going to be right here. Now once they went to a gel coat fiberglass roofs on these Tiffins, the next problem was the radiuses. They had a little bit of a problem, and basically the repair is very similar to this, so we don't even have to worry about that. But this is aluminum right there. Take a look. I'm not seeing anything to be concerned about. Just checking on the sidewall, the slide out too. Grab the hardware. Slide out topper doesn't seem loose. And that looks fine. These skylights are kind of notorious for leaking or cracking, and there's a crack on it right there. Right there, right there, right there, and right there. So we did we have all four corners are cracked, so this skylight lens should be replaced. The nice thing is I can see through it, and I don't see that water got through there. I will check the ceiling in this shower area and make sure there's not rot in there too. So I don't see any rot here. That screw's loose, and I think that's probably loose. That's loose, but that's not water damage, so I think we look pretty good there. Yeah. All right, if we come over to this side, on the passenger side, we'll notice that this slide out topper is, I don't know, wrinkled. You can feel it's kind of thick and starting to fall apart too. So I would probably recommend a new fabric. Probably all new fabrics. Go black fabrics on all of these. The slide out roof is still holding up. Yeah, sealant looks good. All the way down. More checking on the sidewalls, but I don't see any wobbly bits that might, or waviness to the sidewall that would indicate that there's rot going on. And that sounds just the file on. Kind of, the glue just let go, you can hear it. This is the awning rail. It's a cap that actually goes on top of the radius here, and it's mounted to the roof. Still a lot of modern RVs still do this technique. Get more checking there. Haven't pointed it out because I haven't had to, but obviously this sealant looks really good on the gutter molding there, and all the paint is obviously peeling. Well, the clear coat is peeling on the radius, but that's not too much of a surprise. Looks like somebody's upgraded the loose torsion right there. I've made the 3/8 repair many times on that hex shaft. A lot of times, it's supposed to be a rivet, but the rivet gets loose over time. Yeah, so look at that. Fabric is definitely falling apart. Look good there. Come to this fantastic vent. This is self-leveling silicone. You can see it's very, very durable, 18 years, and it doesn't look like anything's wrong with it. It'll look really good here too. Not seeing any checks or any cracks on the vent lip, flange, and Norcold refrigerator. I assume this is a 1200, so I do want to make sure I check the back of it. If it has the original cooling unit in it, I will make note of it and tell them that they should get it replaced. Alright, so take a look at this real fast. You can already see this cooling unit has been replaced. There's that right there instead of I guess a fiberglass foil tape mess up job right there. Kind of a dead giveaway when that unit right there is screwed to the back of the RV, or the back of the refrigerator, rather than clipped on right there. And then of course the cooling unit itself is not rusty, so that's been upgraded and replaced already, so that's wonderful. As this era Norcold 1200s are quite notorious for burning RVs down. All right, another 3/8 repair on there. Top of this slide out looks fine. I'm not going to be too worried about a little bit of tape on that screw head. More checking on the sidewalls there. I will walk this to make sure that it's not loose, obviously. With that raking roof light from the sun coming through, we can see that's pretty the looseness of the pylon. But the roof and the decking doesn't feel rotten. It feels very strong underneath me. Alright, that seal looks good. Moves me down to our last slide out room. Again, more peeling clear on the radius, but the sealant there looks good. Okay. Of course, you can see the downfall of these long slide out toppers. It does tend to pool water. That's very common on all of them because the middle of the tube does flex a little bit as far as it comes in against the sidewall there. So it's kind of bowed in a little bit, making a low point in the fabric. That's why it's always important after a storm to go ahead and retract your slide out room just a little bit to hopefully drain the fabric off. All this water left on top of the fabric over time will start to stretch it out. But remember, it's not a weatherproofer. It's mostly to keep debris off the top of the slide out room itself. All right, we can see that the bath that this roof design creates. Forest River still has the same design here, but Tiffin has upgraded to a gel coat fiberglass roof. Looks like right there, I'd want to reseal that. Not seeing any problems here. More checking on the sidewall. It looks like somebody used some Eternabond up front here. This is not factory original stuff. We all know that I'm not a big fan of Eternabond because, you know, it doesn't seal eternally like it says it does. You can see how loose it is everywhere. So really, if water were to get right here, it's going to get all the way against this seal right there and actually cause a leak. If that wasn't there, you wouldn't have water trapped underneath the tape getting underneath. But we'll go ahead and walk this, make sure it's not loose. All right, water there, a little bit of a gap there. It's not as common as on Monaco's, but we do want to check underneath the entry door awning, make sure that right above the entry door isn't rotten from the lack of sealant between the awning rail here and the sidewall at the front cap, but that looks good too. Really just leaves the front cap area right here. Well, no, I still got more. Got the second AC right here. Make sure that it's not loose, and it doesn't seem to be. They've installed a Winegard Traveler. This is DirecTV And installation doesn't look too bad. I don't know why they didn't remove the original cable that was going for the original satellite dish. But it was probably a Kingdom automatic satellite dish on this one. They just sealed up the holes and sealed up those holes, and then the front holes they likely, oh, here we go. There's the front holes. Huh, that's a little depressing they didn't seal that up too. I mean, they're filled. I don't understand why they didn't just lap seal it right there. Well, they lucked out. The sealant did hold. Come over here to the TV antenna. There's the original Winegard batwing antenna. Now this has a wedge underneath it because the pitch of the roof. Those were a little bit more problematic than I want them to be. Looks like this boot has seen better days. So I'd probably write that down too. Again, I wouldn't have routed the cables this way. I don't like having the opening to this cable entry plate uphill so that water's racing down into it. I would have wanted to point it backwards, but I didn't install it. This is the wind sensor for the Weather Pro Dometic awning. This is 2 thermistors in it. This is a very outdated and obsolete system. They usually go bad. You just have to disable that wind sensor. This air horn or air trumpet or secure. Look good there. That'll just take us to the front cap now. Finally, we got that antenna looks good. That antenna looks good. That was a thing. All right, so this clearance light has a lot of moisture in it. That clearance light has a lot of moisture in it. That one has a lot of moisture in it. A lot of moisture and a lot of moisture. And they're all cracked too, so I'll write that down. I'm going to peer over the top. What I didn't really even notice that this has a one-piece windshield in 2005. That's really impressive. Now this is a gasket set one, so we do want to look down the side to make sure that it's not popping out. As fiberglass front caps are known to deform quite a bit, and windshields can start falling out, but otherwise it looks pretty good. Well, that was a little exhausting. Let me write down everything I said and then we'll finish this inspection up. Well, kind of surprising the amount of problems that I did find on this 2005 Tiffin Allegro bus. But that's why we do the inspection, so that we are aware of it. Now, if it were me and I were buying it, none of this stuff would quite be a deal breaker yet until I take a look at the ceiling inside. It would at the very least be a negotiating point when I went time to purchase it, and I'd have records and a report showing some of the deficiencies to make negotiation a little bit easier. It's also important to do these inspections because skylights, the rear cap seam, and even that satellite dish, if we can catch leaks before they happen, that's going to be fantastic. But also the future owner may not want to pay for all these repairs out of pocket. So it's important to do a roof inspection before you ever buy an RV, even on brand new ones. Any RV, just treat it like a house. You'd have a house inspection done. It's very important to get done. Otherwise, I'm going to continue my inspection. I will let the buyer be aware of this. I think all the parties lucked out because even though, ironically, it is wet up here from all the rain, Arizona traditionally doesn't have a lot of rain, so if this was somewhere else, it probably would have been a lot more damage to it. And then yes, once I finish up the inspection down below, I'll take you through this 2005 Tiffin Allegro bus, because it looks like the current owners have been maintaining it pretty well on the inside and doing a lot of upgrades. It looks pretty nice. I like it. All right guys, I just finished up the inspection on this 2005 Tiffin Allegro bus. And so I will take you through the inside of it very quickly. It won't be an in-depth one because I'm tired, it's hot, it's muggy, but we'll do this fast. Now for 2005, I was actually really impressed that it had this ceramic tile as a landing here. Easy to take your shoes on and off. And I do still like having carpet in the living room area, so that's still pretty nice. And the carpet was recently updated. It's pretty high quality carpet that's in here. On the driver's seat, the only real wear I saw was just a little bit on the armrest, like right about there. Otherwise, the seats are in actually pretty good condition. You can see a little bit of wear right there. It still does have the 4-point hydraulic leveling on it, and it is automatic or computer controlled. And the smart wheel has a pedal right there to adjust it. Still has the spotlight. The dash radio I would upgrade. And this has that cool computer GPS backup camera system built into it. So it's a window-based computer. I think it's Windows XP, but I think it probably has booting issues anyways. It's outdated and I wouldn't use it anyways. But you can flip the switch right there. You turn this monitor into the backup monitor. And that is a pretty massive backup monitor. And we do the left turn camera comes up. Otherwise, if we switch it back. Originally, it did come with the keyboard, which is right there. It's a wireless keyboard with a trackball mouse on it. And there's the infrared wireless receiver for it. It's very important to remember this is 2005. Smartphones are still 2 years away. Most people still have a desktop computer. Laptop computers are fairly underpowered. So this is pretty impressive that they were able to put a computer, a fully fledged Windows-based computer, in the dash of an RV. That was for navigation mostly. Even has the co-pilot GPS antenna right there on the dash. Go ahead and turn the computer off so you don't have to listen to it. Passenger seat's in really good condition too. Even the wallpaper, even though it's loose in some areas, it's not offensive. All the cabinetry is solid cherry wood. You still have the original 5-disc DVD home theater system in there. On the passenger side front slide out, this sofa does turn into a bed. It's got a latch right there. It's just a simple jackknife sofa right down into a almost about a full-size bed. Maybe a little bit short for me. You can again see that solid cherry wood on all the cabinetry and the trim and even the molding above. Solid surface Corian countertop. It's kind of inoffensive and timeless from my opinion, with the 2 color tones to it. The backsplash, maybe we're missing a glass tile there, but other than that we have a mirrored backsplash above. Luckily it is a beveled mirror. This does have a 2-burner propane stovetop on it. This is a Princess stovetop, so it's more from the marine industry. It's residential style, so it's much better than the RV style ones that are out there. Now this countertop is before they put the big pull-out countertop extension right there, so you just have a countertop extension cutting board right in there. And this does have an asymmetrical under countertop mounted stainless steel sink, but I prefer one big sink from now on. Looks like even the original faucet is there. Sharp convection oven microwave above, no dishwasher down below, and even a little Heidi cubby right there for more countertop space. Over on this side, you have the built-in desk. It is hard bolted down. It's really nice. The Euro recliner, pretty standard fare in that. Matching dinette table over here. It's the hutch. It does not turn into a bed. It does extend out for additional seating. Hardwood right there. You can kind of see the peeling wallpaper there. It's not, and that doesn't denote that there's any damage or water damage. This was actually a pretty common problem on Tiffins. Even modern Thors have this. It's just the adhesive lets loose and the vinyl starts to peel. I think 2006, 7, and 8, Tiffin did a nice inlay of wood, and right here next to the refrigerator, hello again, it would crack somewhere around in here because the wood would shrink, because not every place is as damp as Alabama. Here's a Norcold 1200 refrigerator. Like we already noted, it's been updated, so we don't have to worry about fire damage with this one. And one thing I like to always do on the ice maker is put my fingers down in there. If you can feel it flaky and gross, likely the ice maker is bad and hasn't been used for a long time. And then the last thing is going to be right here. It's going to be a pantry extension, little hutch there. Go past this pocket door. Now this is not a solid wood pocket door, it's just wood veneer on a hollow core door. This does have the shower stall in the hallway here. It is one piece fiberglass shower surround, built-in bench seat, and it does have a skylight above. We did take a look at it. I didn't see any water damage there. Let's do this real fast. This one's a pretty hefty 6 or 8 inch step up into it. Again, I'm 6 foot tall. I can step right into it, but I can't step straight out of it without ducking down a little bit. Otherwise, I would say it's a pretty good size. Get that out of the way there. I would say it's definitely a lot more comfortable than most RV showers would be. I do like a fiberglass seamless shower stall over those really ornate tile showers, because those seem to have more possibilities of failure to them. I didn't point it out, but we went from carpet to ceramic tile here in the galley area, tile all the way into the hallway here to the left. Now this is a solid wood passage door, complete with a nice chrome stainless steel piano hinge. So the tile goes into the bathroom here. There's just a gravity porcelain toilet that's likely upgraded from when it was original. Really nice sized countertop here in the bathroom area, and dual medicine cabinets above. And I will point out, you don't see this too often, you get a fantastic vent in the bathroom and in the shower area right here. Go past here, the tile does wrap around to the second sink or bathroom area, which is in the passenger side rear slide out right here. So you do have 2 vanity sinks, 2 medicine cabinets above. So if somebody's in there, you still can use the shower or the sink in here. So it's a pretty common floor plan, even to the modern era. Still a solid surface Corian countertop here. The backsplash with the mirrors above. The TV was upgraded here. I didn't point out the TV in the front room. It is an upgraded TV. Surprisingly, no washer and dryer in this one. My gut tells me possibly we could get a stacked washer and dryer in there, but the doors would have to be reconsidered quite a bit. This is a queen size bed. It would be very difficult to put a king size bed in here on the 4th slide out. You'd probably have to lose that or that nightstand right there, but it could be done. This mattress is probably at the end of its life too. There's those folding chairs down below, but there is storage down below. 2 unique things right here is you can start and stop the generator from the bed, which is nice, but what's really even more unique, I've never seen anybody mount a ceiling fan to the AC grill right up there, and it does work. It's actually kind of brilliant. I'm surprised we don't see this more often, because it's mounted to something pretty substantial up there, not just paneling above. While we're looking at the ceiling, one thing I haven't pointed out, all these lights right here, these have all been custom made. These would have been thin light fluorescent lights, and so they would have been a big rectangle right here. I assume the previous owner or the current owner didn't like the thin lights on it, and they made a vinyl wrap with 3 puck lights on them. Now, based on what I feel, those are just halogens, and they are quite hot. So, see, these are LED. So, these are LED. Those are still the halogens. But, of course, those can all be updated. The last little feature behind these sliding mirrored closet doors, it is a seated line closet, and they did extend the carpet out into this area here. And there it is, a 2005 Tiffin Allegro Bus. Really, this is when Tiffin really changed their core, their build style, and really upped their game substantially. Tiffin did a great job. That's why I do like these. Solid hardwood, the ceramic tile floor, and of course the upgraded carpet. Really a lot of things to like about this. It would require quite a bit of modernization, but it's a really beautiful coach. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I got to get down the road to reprogram a silver leaf system. Bye. I do want to thank the crew here over at Integrity RV in Mesa, Arizona for allowing me to share this Tiffin Allegro bus with you guys. I tried to point out the common things to look for on a Tiffin Allegro bus in this era, about 2005 to about 2009, and I think we did a good job. It's a good inspection. Because The house batteries are stone cold. But in this era, Tiffin, the ignition has to be off for the slide out rooms to run out. I think that's true. Because the year after this, it has to be off for the slide out rooms to go out. It's all very confusing. Because this is extruded aluminum right here. Well, I don't think it's extruded aluminum, but this is aluminum because it's all, maybe it is extruded. And like always, I'm always going to try, it doesn't really matter. But, and personally, you can see 18 years later, it still looks very, very, very sleek. I enjoy it. Hit my head on something out there. Sorry about that. That was a slide out. Yeah. Hit my head on a slide out. Dang.